All right, everyone. Good morning and welcome to Women in Logistics. It is with myself, Ariel Shaw, and Tawana Randall of Gold Star Logistics. So, again, welcome. This is a multi-million dollar, and actually, I think I'm corrected to say it's $1 billion industry. And we wanted to make sure that we were bringing this opportunity to our ladies as well as those who just want to tune in and maybe follow us on all social media platforms. Again, I am extremely passionate about making sure women are not just working for themselves possibly, but working smart and strategically. The logistics industry is first of all, the word logistics is extremely broad, but we're going to narrow in on a few things today. And because we're where we are situationally located as far as in the Southern Crescent, I know with the deepening of the port in Savannah, Georgia, where we're located in the Southern Crescent, we're going to be having truck lanes that are going to be coming, that are going to travel from Macon all the way up through our county, which is Henry County. And we want to make sure that our ladies have an opportunity to take part of what this economic boom is going to mean for our particular region. So again, I am Ariel Shaw. I am the founder and president of Southern Crescent Women in Business. We're a conglomerate of women-owned businesses and women in business. My goal and mission behind the creation of Southern Crescent Women in Business is to provide foundational support for women-owned businesses and women in business in the Southern Crescent. Currently, we have 3 active chapters. That is Henry County Women in Business, Fayette County Women in Business, and Clayton/DeKalb Women in Business. We have created networks where women can do business with each other and also increase the viability and sustainability of their businesses. I am the founder also of a logistical management firm. So, again, that word is logistics, which operates out of Georgia. You can find out more about Southern Crescent Women in Business at www.scwibga.org. And our moderator today is going to be Miss Tawana Randall of Gold Star Logistics. So we are excited to have her. She's one of our newest members. She is a native of Miami, Florida. She's an entrepreneur on the move. She's received her bachelor's degree in the Management Information Systems from the Union University and her master's degree in Human Resource Management from Walden University. With years of experience, Tawana started Gold Star Logistics Group to help companies get into the industry and learn her mistakes, as mentioned in her latest Truck and Hustle podcast. Whether you have hands-on business approach or would rather us handle everything, Gold Star Logistics customizes those services for your needs. Tawana currently serves on the following. She's the co-founder of Box Truck University. She's the vice president of Leading Ladies of Logistics, and she's a freight agent with Ladies Logistics with an X. So I would say that we are making logistics sexy. So again, guys, I want to bring Tawana on. I'm actually going to stop sharing and see what I can do to make sure that she is actually able to get on. Hold on one second. All right, Tawana, are you able to start your video now? I may have to make you a host. I'm going to make you a host, and then you should be able to. Perfect.
Hey, got it. Got it.
All right. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. I'm super stoked to be here with you guys today. And hopefully I can provide some type of value for you in reference to the transportation industry. So thank you for the introduction. One correction, I am no longer a part of Box Truck University. So I wanted to get that out of there, get that out of the way. And also, this is a $800 billion industry that we can all be a part of. In my classes, I teach that, you have to find your niche in this industry. You have to figure out what it is that you want to do. Sometimes you can be involved in the industry in more than one ways. I personally am a courier, which means I own and operate trucks. I do not drive. I do not hold a CDL. This is one of my missions in life, to get a CDL so that I can kind of understand what's going on, but that won't happen this year. But it definitely is a mission in it for me to grab a CDL license as well. I'm also a freight dispatcher, so I dispatch freight under a brokerage. I don't own my own brokerage, but I dispatch freight for a brokerage. The brokerage is called Lady Logistics, based out of South Carolina. It also has an office here in Atlanta. And I, of course, own Gold Star Logistics Group, which is a dispatching courier consultant, where we dispatch freight. We help couriers move their freight. And we also have 18 dispatchers that work with Gold Star Logistics. And then, of course, I teach training classes as well to help people become dispatchers and then hopefully move into courier consultant. So within this industry, like I said, there's so many different ways to get into it. You just have to figure out what your niche is. And the most important part of this industry is education, mentorship, and just continuing to learn. I made a huge mistake the first time I came into the industry, where I, literally just got into the industry because I had the funds to get into the industry. Not that I knew anything about it. I just had friends that was in it, and people telling me that it was a great industry to get into. So we had some money, so we bought some trucks. And it was a big fail for me because I did not have the education. I did not have the mentorship behind me. So my first time in the industry, we failed, lost almost $70,000 because of the lack of training and lack of information. The second time I came into this industry is now with Gold Star Logistics. And this time around, I have literally done a 360, literally changed how I do business. The first time around it was, I'm going to do my own taxes. I'm going to do my own this. I'm going to do everything. And you get to the point where it's like, as a business owner, you want to, one, do everything. And then two, you want to also save money. But you end up losing more money because you're trying to do something that is not your expertise. Now, I do not handle taxes. I don't know how to do taxes, so I get someone that does that, so that we can maximize what we're supposed to do as a business owner in taxes, as well as be sure that we're doing the right thing and I'm not owing Uncle Sam no money. Or if I do owe him, that we're able to pay him at a timely fashion. So it's important to get people to do things that they're good at doing. If it's not my area, then I don't do it. So like I said, we have 18 dispatchers in all across. They're not all here in Atlanta. It's the beauty of dispatching. Dispatching can be done anywhere. It can be done from your home. We do have an office here in Atlanta, about to open up an office in the McDonough area as well. So it can be done anywhere. It does not have to be done from an office. You just decide, like, what type of vehicles do you want to dispatch for? This is not a part-time evening type of position. Dispatching is one of those things that you get into where you can dedicate your time. You can really focus on the people that you are moving freight for. You're literally operating their livelihood, like telling them, what loads you have, what amount of money they can make on the loads, the distance. You're handling every single thing when it comes to that load for them. So it's not like something you can pick up hours for, nights and weekends. Most of the time you're going to need to be available throughout the day. We get up 5, 6 o'clock in the morning. We're talking to our brokers, and then from there, going on load boards, communicating with our couriers and trying to find out, where are you, where are you trying to go, what's the plan for the week, so that we can proceed to, find them loads based on what it is that they need for that particular day. From there, we're finding loads. They're calling us about directions. they're calling us about, maybe they're at the dock and they don't understand where to go, but it's a constant contact. I tell people every day it's an A to Z type thing. So it's not like, okay, I dispatch my drivers for the day, I'm done. I can go out, run my errands and get my nails done. It doesn't really work that way. I take a laptop with me everywhere I go. And because I just never know, I want to be available to my clients, if they need something while they're on that load. You also want to be available to those brokers. You're building a relationship with these brokers. You're building relationships with these brokers so that you can eventually stay off the load boards and gain that access from the brokers and gain that access for their loads on your own. So we build relationships with the brokers, we build relationships with shippers, and we work to get our clients the best freight. Your couriers, your drivers, your owner operators, or your fleet owners, they are your number one clients. They're the ones who hire you to go out to be sure that you can secure freight for them. So it's definitely a customer service based type business because you are talking to people all day long. I had a driver the other day tell me that he literally probably talks to me more than he talks to his wife. So, and it's because we literally talk every day, every morning. Hey, Mr. Client, how you doing? What's going on? Where you at? What's the status of the freight? What's your ETA? We talk in the afternoon. We talk in the evening, giving updates. So you're going to be dealing with these people all day, every day. So the customer service and the willingness to really want to be in this industry is definitely important.
So, Tawana, can I jump in for a second? And it won't let me show my video for some reason. But anyways, I want to first say, so just for those who have tuned in, so again, logistics is extremely broad, but today we're really honing in dispatch training. So Tawana jumped right in and mentioned dispatch. We want to make sure that everybody understands one, what does it mean to be a dispatcher, and what does that look like? And I know you have about 17 dispatchers. So let's make sure we talk about that as well.
So a freight dispatcher is essentially the one in the back office moving the freight. They're arranging for freight. I like to say freight dispatchers are almost like travel agents because we're literally planning that driver's freight. We're literally locating the freight, negotiating the rate for that freight, and then discussing with the driver to find out whether or not this is something that he wants to proceed with as far as booking that particular freight. And then from there, everything in the back office, what their route is, how they're going to get there, giving them the address, giving them directions. When they get to the shipper, letting them know, hey, you need to pull into dock 3. Your appointment time is 9 a.m. We need to try to be finished with this by 2 because you have another pickup at 3. So we are literally planning and arranging for freight for that particular vehicle or that client that you have. That client that you have that you're moving, that has hired you to be their dispatchers. So we're that back office that handles all the paperwork. We finish all the broker courier packages that has to be completed. We handle all, factoring and invoicing, anything compliance based. Once you get into compliance base, you're moving from becoming a freight dispatcher to a courier consultant, where you're literally handling everything for that driver. And I tell dispatchers, it's great to become a dispatcher, but you don't want to stay there. You want to move up to the fact that, okay, now I'm providing compliance. Now I'm providing, invoicing or payroll or whatever. Adding to the different things that you can provide to this customer, still being virtual and not having to be in with that client on a daily basis. Typically with me, we train dispatchers and then they don't understand or know the compliance part. So they'll say, okay, if you need compliance, go to Gold Star, go to Tawana. Versus, you can also learn how to do that compliance, learn how to learn the rules for the drug clearinghouse or the FMCSA or the UCR and BCO3s. That way, that's additional funds that you're bringing into your dispatch company and additional knowledge that as well. It's one of those businesses where you definitely are learning every single day. The transportation industry changes all the time. So just taking a class and like, okay, I know it, I'm ready to do it is not going to be it. You're going to be learning every day. You're going to be, trying to stay abreast of what's going on in the transportation and logistics industry. Like I mentioned before, yes, I do have 18 dispatchers that work under Gold Star Logistics. Basically, that started because when I initially started, I probably had like 7 to 10 guys that I was dispatching for, and constantly having people come in and asking me, can you take more clients? Can you take more clients? And it was like, no. I always recommend anywhere from 5 to 7 per dispatcher. Depending on the type of vehicles that you're dispatching with, because it does get overwhelming because you're literally dispatching for each individual truck, and they're not all going to be in the same place. They may not all be the same type of vehicle. So you don't want to take on too much, because then that lessens the contact or the communication that you're going to have with your couriers. So 5 to 7 is a pretty good number to bring in as far as carrier bases. And then from there, what happened was I knew that I needed to bring in someone to assist me. I brought in my first 2 dispatchers, and from there, it just took off from there. It was like, okay, I need a few more. So people would ask me all the time, after I've taken your training, like, where can I go to work, or where can I go to get more help? So that's how it started, with me bringing in more people and more dispatchers to come in and kind of like get their feet wet here. And then, if they wanted to branch off and do their own thing from there, they're more than welcome. So it's kind of like I'm the one who has the financial responsibility as far as the load boards and, giving more help and mentorship. And then, eventually it's like, okay, it's been 6 months, I'm ready to move on by myself. So that's kind of how it started, with me having 18 dispatchers working with Gold Star Logistics Group. Dispatching can be very lucrative. It's all about what you make it. I would never use the word easy and dispatching in the same sentence, because it's not easy, especially depending on the type of vehicles that you're going to be dispatching for. But at the same time, if you can imagine, based on the trucks, if you're charging your couriers 10% to dispatch their vehicles. So if you have 5 couriers, and if you gross those couriers, let's say $5,000. So 10% of 5,000 is going to be 500. 500, and you have 5 couriers. So that's $2,500 that you can bring in on a weekly basis, just based on those 5 guys that you're dispatching for. So it's all about what you make it. It's all about your education, what you learn, and what you can bring to the table. The object is to provide that service so that those drivers need you, because eventually drivers can really dispatch for themselves. They can find their own loads. But the problem is, they don't want to be sitting in a truck stop, looking at a computer, talking to brokers all day long, filling out this paperwork while they're in a truck. So they get people like dispatchers to handle that back office stuff for them, so they can focus on driving. So if you're not providing a great service to them, there's no need for you. So your job is to provide a great service to them, provide something that they can't get somewhere else, and that they know that, okay, we're a team. You and I are a team. We're going to do this together to be sure that my trucks are moving and my trucks are making a legitimate amount of money, as well as you're making money as well. So like I said, definitely not, the easiest thing to get into, but it's definitely worth it if you have the drive and want to get in and learn and educate yourself to, proceed in this industry.
All right. Are there any questions? So I know we had a few individuals that were already in the logistics industry. Um, we had brokering dispatch from Chautauqua. Alicia, she is a dispatcher for a logistics company as well. She wants to move and branch out on her own. And Veronica is moving freight. Just from your perspective, Tawana, just where we're located, the fact that we're going to be getting these truck lanes, the fact that the deepening of the port in Savannah is happening, has happened. What does that mean for the logistics industry and specifically our region?
Oh wow. It means a lot. Just recently I went and got my TWIT card because my partner and I have been doing some work on the South
Tell,
Carolina port.
tell them what the TWIT card is.
Okay. So a TWIT card is basically an ID that you need to get on the ports. So anytime you want to visit the port, you have to have identification. You have to go through a whole background, a whole thing to get a TWIT card to get onto the port. Or you can pay an escort $75 to walk around with you all day on the port for a few hours. So I got tired of paying that $75. So I went and got my own TWIT card. So yeah, we recently been got some contracts to move some containers off the port. And once we got that, it was more so of being a women-owned business, being a minority, and then at the same time, my partner being veteran, disabled veteran. So they were kind of looking to work with certain people. And that's kind of really how, working with state and government and that type of stuff. That's kind of how that works. And I'm not going to get too much into that because I'm not the expert. I have an expert that works with me that handles that type of stuff for me. But just for what we know, there are certain things that are set aside for certain people. So we were able to obtain the first container contract with on the South Carolina port, and then from there moved on to do work with Savannah. So and then that opens doors for you to get into the room with different type of people that are looking for your services. So definitely by us obtaining that first contract with the South Carolina port has helped us to open other doors for us in this industry with all different type of things. There's so many ways to get different business around here as far as like contracts. You can work with your local government. I always encourage people to please be a part of your chamber, your local chamber. It's important for them to know who you are. It's important for them to know what you do. And if it's something that they need, they always know that they have someone or have a member that's involved in certain things that can help them, with contracts and things like that. So it's always important
So,
to get
so
involved.
I want to say, so one of the things that we do, of course, is the government contracting class. We do it every fourth quarter, but we're moving it where we're putting it in every quarter as well. We're also working to make sure we're making sure our ladies are certified, especially our veteran owned, because as the daughter of a disabled veteran, we know good and well that opportunity opens up a lot of doors. That SCVOSB certification, that VOSB certification, we just got off a call last night for that. But we do have a question. One person wants to know, what does a broker do versus a dispatcher?
Okay, so the difference between a dispatcher and a broker is a dispatcher, one, works for the courier, and they don't have to have any type of authority or bonds in order to move freight. We're working on behalf of the courier to help them arrange freight for their trucks. Brokering is they must have an authority from the FMCSA, and they must have an authority, and they must also carry a $75,000 surety bond in order for them to become an active broker to move freight. Brokers typically work with shippers. They get the freight direct from the shippers. They broker freight from the shippers, and then they reach out to couriers to move that freight. So it's more of a regulation type thing. And to be honest with you, they are in the talks of making dispatchers regulated. And I'm praying that they do. I'm one of the crazy ones that kind of pray that they do make dispatchers regulated because, there's so many different things going on in the industry. And, we want to be able to be protected just like couriers or just like brokers at the same time as well. So that's the major difference. Brokers are going to broker freight and move freight for the actual shipper, and the dispatcher is going to help the courier move freight. We work for the actual courier in that situation.
So we have a lot of ladies that are now asking, how do they get started on this journey? And I want to be clear. We started. This is called a pre-training. We are very specific in making sure we stated pre-training. Tawana offers this training, but it is absolutely not free. So I want to be clear about that. But we wanted to make sure that one, we opened the door to make sure you understood what is being offered. So if you can kind of just go down a quick list as to what those points are that would be offered in your training, Tawana, as it relates to dispatching.
So in the training, we're basically teaching you how to get started, the necessary documentations or, the business setup in order to get started. From there, we go into securing couriers or securing clients, where you're looking for your clients, how to secure your clients, your paperwork that's going to be needed as far as developing your own agreements, getting your invoicing software, and obtaining a TMS system in order to move your freight. TMS stands for Transportation Management Software. Also in the training, we connect you with the proper people. We connect you with someone in reference to, we connect you with different brokers. We connect you with, someone to help you with your taxes as far as trucking taxes. I always recommend in this industry to get someone who's going to do your taxes that does trucking taxes. I had someone the other day say, my cousin's a real estate tax attorney. And I'm like, that's not the same. You want to be sure that someone's going to know what the write-offs and what the benefits are that you need for your own taxes for your own type of business. And we teach you how to read the load boards. We teach you where to go and find the loads, and basically teaching you about broker relationships. It's important for you to start building your broker relationships versus wanting to depend on the load board every time you need a load. So we go pretty much into the introduction into freight dispatching in a 4-hour time frame for the classes. But yeah, that's pretty much it.
All right. So again, we will be providing that link for everyone if they're interested in signing up. As noted, this is say that number again, Tawana. That
$800 billion industry.
okay. And again, guys, I really want to make sure I'm clear. Those who know me know that I'm 100%. I don't mind the what I call the fluffy things, that people get into as it relates to business. But if we really want to move the needle, especially as it relates to women, especially as it relates to minority women, we really need to be looking at industries that are going to pay you for your time. Your time is your most valuable asset. And I truly believe that if you focus on an industry that's going to pay you for what you're worth, that you cannot dismiss logistics, you can't dismiss government. And I know last year we did a how to do business with about 3 or 4 municipalities. We'll of course release those videos. A lot of them are already on our YouTube. But we want to focus more in that area. I'm extremely passionate about that. As someone who has worked in the federal government space, I know that there is an opportunity for every single one of you. Even the municipality, when you're looking at how do you sell and you're mainly B2C, or which means your primary target is customers, you want to make sure that you're focusing on what can you possibly use to scale. So again, logistics I think is just one of those areas, especially where we're located. So Henry County, which is where I'm physically located and where Tawana will be in a couple of months. And I'll let Tawana tell you what her new business venture is and how that fits right into her current business. But we were the first area that had the 2 lanes that were reversible, the first in the state. So now we're going to be one of the first in the state that have the 4-lane truck lanes. That's major, guys. So I want to be 100% clear that if you're in our area, you really need to understand what's coming in your area and how to capitalize off of it. And Tawana, tell them a little bit about your new venture and how it fits right into what you're currently doing.
right. So last year I started a new company called Dependable Screening Solutions. We took some training. I had a friend of mine that had mentioned to me for over 2 years, so I shoot myself in the foot for not doing it. Of doing a drug screening for DOT and for truck drivers. Every single truck driver that gets behind a wheel must have a DOT drug screening. So it was kind of like a no-brainer, but I guess it took my brain a long time to kind of figure it out because I run across so many truck drivers every single day in my industry that why can't I be the one drug testing these people? So now Dependable Solutions will be opening up in the McDonough area. Right now we're currently doing mobile. In fact, we had one this morning that we went out, there was an accident and they needed someone to go out and do a mobile drug testing on the site. Anytime a truck driver is in an accident, they have to have a drug screening on site, like right then and there. They have to have a drug screening. So we were able to be in the area when the DOT rep called for us to go and facilitate a drug screening in the area. So it's a very again, something else that you can add to being a dispatcher. Even if you don't have a brick and mortar to do it in a building, you can also gain the knowledge, get the training, and do it mobile as well until you're able to do something within a business. So we, like I said, provide drug screenings, we provide DOT physicals, and still if someone is just taking the test outside of if someone taking the test outside of the state and I don't have like someone within that state to do it, even if I send them to another state, I still get paid a percentage for that person going to that particular drug screening. So it's really cool. Like I said, I love it. I love the fact that within this industry there's so many different things that you can you can add to what you do, so that you're still making a good money in this industry. I worked for Emory University for 13 years, and I left my corporate America job to do this full time. And when I left, it was like no turning back. This something that I knew I wanted to do, so it was really no turning back from there. So I've maintained being a corporate America dropout. I have 4 young ladies who I'm proud to say working with Gold Star Logistics. They also became corporate America dropouts. So it's definitely possible, you guys. You just have to want it, you have to learn it, and you have to stay focused on doing it.
All right, awesome. And so I don't know if you caught that, but she pretty much took the middleman out. Literally, she brought drug testing in house, and I think that's extremely brilliant. Donna said, "I'm a corporate America dropout too."
Yes.
I think a lot of us are. So, Mary, how much is the course? That was the question from Mary.
So our course is a 2-day, 2-hour each day, 4-hour course, and it is $300 per person.
Okay, Mary, does that answer you? Did you have any other questions in regard to that? All right, guys. I can you guys see me now? I don't know how we had this set up, but it was where we couldn't see everybody. I don't know. But anyways, all right, Angie, hello, do you still offer the one-on-one training? So are you asking for something outside of the course, or are you asking for the course plus an additional training? So talk a little bit about that, Tawana.
So I'm assuming she's probably been on my website. So I do one-on-one trainings. Some people learn a little different. We literally just had a class in Atlanta. We had over 35 people there. We had it was an awesome class because we had a broker come in and talk about broker relationships. I had my government contract guru. Her name is Stacy from D Unity. And then of course I had my tax accounting come in. So they got a wealth of information in that in-person class in Atlanta. It was about 2 weeks ago. But typically I do all Zoom classes. We I do one-on-one classes as far as, whether you want to do a one-on-one Zoom, that's a little bit more. And then also if you want to do a one-on-one in person. And I'll be offering the same course again, I think April in person, but it'll be in Fort Lauderdale at our Leading Ladies of Logistics conference.
So listen, right now, Tawana is offering this in partnership with Southern Crescent Women Business Center. And I think this is a great offer. We want to make sure, again, 2021 is the year of execution. So if you have an opportunity, I would strongly encourage you guys to sign up. And Tawana, you'll be providing that sign up information. And I think we had one other statement. Okay. Sheila, she said her CPA firm, they have a lot of experience with logistics. Sheila is a fellow member. She is in our Fayette County chapter. So she wants to make sure she connects with you. So definitely we'll make sure that happens as well. Kia, she's looking to purchase her first truck very soon. All right, congratulations, Kia. All right, guys. So, do we have any other questions? And Tawana, where are we? Are we sending out that link for the training? How are we doing this?
I will get my web guy to handle that, so it should be updated by today.
Okay, awesome. All right, and we will send that information out as soon as possible. Are there any other questions? Again, guys, logistics is so broad, but today, and it covers so many areas. But today, we're talking about dispatch training, and what does that mean? What does that look like? One of the things that and I want you to touch on this too, Tawana, as we talk about women. What does that mean as it relates to dispatching? Do you think it's a job that women can do, especially as we're dealing now with this virtual kids are home and all that stuff? What does that look like for women?
I mean, same thing that we've been doing when it comes to parenting and being a mom. I mean, we can work it out. Find you a space in your house where no one is. I know sometimes that's hard because you got one child at the table, one child at the computer over here, but find you a quiet space, get that computer, get that phone. It's definitely obtainable. It's like, again, I don't like to use the word easy, but it's definitely something that, you could, focus and grab your education, get your mentorship, and make pretty good money doing so. So it's definitely, I mean, there's a lot of women in this industry. Unfortunately, it is a male-dominated industry, but nowadays we are seeing, we have an organization called Leading Ladies of Logistics, where we have I think it's like over 2,500 women that are all in this industry, whether they're brokers, whether they're truck drivers. There's so many women truck drivers nowadays. It's just amazing. A lot of my clients that I dispatch for are women truck drivers. So, even if it's not dispatching, you have brokerage, you have compliance, you have driving, truck driving. There's so many different ways to get into this industry where you can, add to us corporate America dropouts and, work from home, take care of your kids. And, the one thing this pandemic has taught me is that, there is no time when, corporate America can tell you that, you no longer have a job, or your position is no longer there. So, we have to start learning how to do something for ourselves, and something that we can actually, I loved Emory University. They paid me real good, but at the end of the day, I can't leave Emory University to my kids. But now it's more so like he knows that I do this for a reason. And the transportation industry has definitely allowed me to just do a little bit more, especially with family. And I have 3 family members that work for me. At first, that was kind of shaky, but so far so good. And just helping other people to learn that this is definitely an awesome industry to get into if you wanted to continue your education. And I know you keep hearing me say that education part, because it never stops. It never stops, especially when it comes to the government contracts, learning what's going on in your area. I live in Stockbridge, so I love Henry County. I'm involved in anything I could possibly think of because that's how I get in the know and know about these different things that are going on and be in that room with those decision makers that are going to need those people to move those contracts. So, it's definitely, like I said, it's definitely a lot of work, but it's definitely worth it. You'll find that it's worth it to be a part of this $800 billion industry.
All right, everyone, I want you to put in the chat $800 billion industry. Can I see that in the chat? I want to make sure you heard that, you receive it, you understand that. I need some folks to put it in the chat. All right, awesome. Thank you, Alicia. Put it, I want to see more. Jacqueline, Natasha, awesome. Kia, Kimberly. Awesome. Yes, you guys understand that. And more importantly, if you're interested in going further with Tawana, because we want to make sure that we are focused in this pre-training. If you're interested in going further, I want you to put a 1 there. If you're already in the industry and you're thinking, maybe it's something else that I can add, and I still want to talk with Tawana. If I want to bring my own DOT drug house or drug training, put a 2 in there. But yeah, so I'm so glad to see all these 1s. Again, we're going to make sure you get the link. It's going to be set up. I appreciate Tawana for bringing this to the organization. Again, we want to make sure that, again, this is focused. We work in partnership with people who work with us. You'll never see me do a lot where I push people out to other organizations. I bring people in. That's the first thing. The second thing is Tawana is partnering with our organization, and she's actually given a portion back to the organization. So, your training, not only are you getting the training that you need, but you are also helping Southern Crescent Women in Business Center. So what is this about? Women supporting women, making sure that we are all in a position where we're capitalizing and winning. So again, look out for the government contract training. I know our veterans are eager. I think we're gonna have to pull y'all out and do something separate with you guys, just because the opportunities for veterans are huge. And I really, it's just because both of my parents served over 20 years each. It's just an area that I think we need to focus a little bit more on. I don't see veterans understanding the opportunities, just in understanding how the contracting world looks. Meaning, what does that look like when you're an 8A contract versus a SDVOSB versus a women owned? There are actual categories and there are layers to it. So I do want to see more of our women and more of our veteran women take advantage of this. That TWIT card, you know it. And listen, Tawana, I'm from Charleston.
Really?
I am.
If I drive to Charleston one more time, I swear I'm gonna find me a house there. There's so much going on there now, and so
I am a Port City geek
oh wow
all day.
in Somerville, so I'm back. Yes. I'm flying out on the 25th back to.
Absolutely. So I was like, oh, she already knows she on the TWIT card. Yeah. Yes. They have their trucking businesses. They're on them ports. I'm telling you. So, so it's so interesting because when as Savannah, I always said Savannah was always coming for Charleston. And we mentioned this years ago. And I said, Charleston got to get their stuff together. Well, I'm telling you, Savannah, I think is pretty much, they're over Charleston now, but we're still hoping for the best where they're concerned. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, because we had some men in here, if there are no more questions, we want to thank Tawana for joining us, and we want to make sure that we get the links out to you guys immediately. And remember, guys, This year is the year of execution. So what does that mean? We are not going to just sit here, take this information, and make sure that we're not acting on it. Okay. So once you get that link, make sure position yourself to get the training. Okay. Make sure you sign up. Make sure you get this course. And again, execute. All right. If there's nothing else, Tawana.
I look forward to seeing you all in the class. Reach out to me. Somebody asked for my information. I just dropped it in the chat. Reach out to me if you have any questions, if there's anything that I can do to assist you in moving forward, let me know. But we'll have the links posted for the class. I definitely look forward to seeing you all there. And thank you so much for allowing me to be here.
All right, awesome. Thank you, everyone. And I know I saw one of my friends from the Development Authority for Clayton County on here. And so listen, we just had it. Well, listen, we just had a conversation because I told him, I said, listen, we are going to make sure we're pushing our ladies in those areas that actually bring more revenue. Okay.
Absolutely.
So, we got some big folks in here that's looking. Don't be surprised if some additional things come from this. All right, everyone. Have an amazing Tuesday.
All right. Thank you, guys.
All right. Bye-bye.